what you have seen is called stroke order. In other words, every time we are writing a character, there is a specific kind of way we write it. And that is something that we will be looking at. Chinese characters are also written in a different way. So you do not need to worry about how do I write it or which point do I start from. Let us also look at the initials. Now for this, our channel already has an existing video. I am just going to play it for you. Try as much as possible to pronounce the sounds in the exact same way as you hear them. Let us listen together.
Of initials or consonants. Bo, po, mo, fo, de, te, ne, le, ge, ke, he, ji, qi, xi, zhi, chi, shi, ri, zi, ci, si.
Very good. For those of you that want to listen to these initials more times, the link of this video is in the description box. Let us move on to the finals.
I, U, Ü, Er, A, Ja, Ua, O, Wo, Ü, Ye, Yue, I, Y, A, Wei, Ao, Yao. I advise you play it back and listen to it and do not move forward before you have learnt it.
Very good. Now, let us look at the four tones in Chinese. Chinese is a very interesting language, and all that makes Chinese Chinese is the four tones that we are going to be learning right now. Respectively, there are the first tone, the second tone, the third tone, and the fourth tone. And I do not want to make these any difficult for anyone. So let us learn them with the most interesting diagrams. I found these diagrams to teach you how to pronounce them. The first tone is a bell sound. Try to think of a bell as you pronounce these sounds with me. O, E, U. Very good. What you heard in common was the highest pitch. It's the highest pitch. No matter the voice tone, maybe you have a very deep voice or a very loud voice, it will still sound as the highest pitch of your own voicing. Let me try to repeat that in a deep voice. O, E, U, U. Did you hear that? Even though my voice tonation sounded like it was changing, but the tone still remained the same because it still carried the highest pitch of my own voicing. Now let us move on to the second tone. This one, imagine if a friend gave you some news telling you that very ugly dude in class managed to go out on a date with the most beautiful girl on the school. It's a surprise, right? Now pronounce these with me. O,
A, O, E, I, U,
very
Ü.
good. Now, for most learners, every time they learn third tone just after learning second tone, it may confuse a few. But luckily on this channel, we will teach you exactly how the two differ. When we look at this little graph here, you can see that what separates the third tone from the second tone is it has this gentle slope. And in most cases in Chinese, we emphasize the gentle slope more than we emphasize the part that goes up. Now try to read this with me. Try to go with this slope and find your baseline. And please note, it's not a straight, sharp landing. It's gentle and slow. You're literally sloping down. You're not going up. And when you hit the baseline, you come back up again gently. If you learn how to slope gently with the third tone, that's the difference it has with the second tone. Now let us try to read these sounds out together.
Ah, ah, oh, uh, uh, e, ooh, ooh, ü. Please note it's not ah, oh, it's gentle.
Very good. Now some people may ask, why do we put so much emphasis on the slope then? Some teachers simply teach it as,
Ah, oh.
why don't we also pronounce it like that? Well, if you learn Chinese that way, it will bring you a lot of confusion in the future because you will have challenges differentiating second tone with third tone. So it's important that from the very beginning, you teach yourself how to slope, find the baseline, and then rise up slightly. Because as you'll find out, for most times that we use the third tone, we rarely need to even use the part that goes up again. Let us use the very word we learnt in this lesson as an example. Ni hao. Ni hao. Did you hear it? I did not say "ah." I didn't even have to take it back up. Ni hao. As soon as I hit the baseline, I had no need to go back up again. It's only when we're reading words at the end, maybe, that we need to emphasize that it's the third tone and we still go back up a little. Let us try to read this together.
Ah, oh, oh, uh, e, ooh, ü.
Good. I would advise you pause back the video or at least run it back a few seconds and try to pronounce them until you have them. If you do a side-by-side comparison with your own sounds and you find that there is a little bit of difference, please practice more until you perfect them. Now let us look at the fourth tone, which is basically an angry Chinese person trying to shout at you. You had this assignment that you had to do by morning time. He called you again in the afternoon to remind you, and in the evening you're telling him you haven't even started it yet. How do you think he will react? Ah! Very good. Now
Let us think of that angry tone as we pronounce these sounds. Ah, oh, e, ooh, ü.
again.
Ah, oh, e, ooh, ü.
One will be easy for you because everyone has anger in them. Now let us look at a few Chinese syllables. What is a syllable? It is simply a word. You can understand it that way. And Chinese words will always have a final and an initial. In other words, they will have a beginning part and an ending part. Then to sum it all up, what makes a Chinese word is the tone. So generally, every word in Chinese is simply an initial joined to a final plus a tone to make a word. Let us see a few examples. You can read with me. Mao, Mao, Mao. The initial here is the M and the final is the Ao. And what's the tone? Very good. The bell tone, the first tone. Ao, Mao, Mao. Or if it's in bass voice, Mao, Mao, Mao. Perfect. Let us move on to the second tone. Yu as our second example. What is the final? Yu. Now, why exactly didn't we write the Y as the initial? Because the final itself carries the sound of Y within So you do not need to consider Y as the initial here. Okay, did you hear it? As I'm pronouncing it almost feels like it's already carrying the Y with it. Okay, plus the second tone, we are getting surprised. This ugly boy in class managed to date the most beautiful girl in school. Ah, Now let's change the sound. Yu, yu. The third example. Very good. What's the initial? Ji. Very good. And the final? Ye. Then the tone? Ye. With the initial now joined to it? Jie. Let's look at the last word. R. R. It didn't have any initial because it only carried the part of the final. So as you can see, some words are only made up of finals, only made up of the pronouncing part of the sound, and they do not necessarily carry any initials. You can have finals alone for making words, but you can never have an initial alone. To form a word, you definitely need a final. Just like we have vowels and you have consonants. You can have consonants and vowels forming words, or vowels alone forming words, but you can never have consonants alone forming words. Very good. Now let us conclude with this picture. Read with me to perfect our nice tones and also learn a few new words. E, E, U, 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 R, R, B, B, 猫，猫，岛，岛，花，花，鸡，鸡，七，七，鞋，鞋，雪，雪。Very good. Look at the picture and try to read out the sound. Try as much as possible to imitate these sounds as teacher is reading them. 咖啡，咖啡，可乐，可乐，烤鸭，烤鸭，火锅，火锅，地图，地图，飞机，飞机，毛笔，毛笔. Very good. Now, teacher, why don't you read it as 毛笔? Like I told you in the beginning. With third tone, the most important part is the slope. You can choose to emphasize the rising part or ignore it. It's still okay. Since it's the only tone in Chinese with a gentle slope, 毛笔, 毛笔. Okay. 耳机, 耳机. Very good. Now, as you have realized, we have changes in tones in Chinese. For example, we did not pronounce ni, hao. That would be too constraining. Imagine having to greet somebody, and the first word you have to say is 你好. It feels like you're almost straining from the very point go. So to remove this, if two third tones combine, the first part becomes a second tone, and the second third tone is left the way it is. Pronounce it with me. 你好,你好,你好. Very good. 可以,可以 means can, but one part is third tone and the second part is also third tone. What do we do? Very good. The first third tone turns into a second tone and we leave the second third tone the way it is. 可以,可以. Very good. Let us also practice with this one. 辅导. All of them are third tone. First part turns to second tone. Leave the second part the way it is. 辅导,辅导. Very good. Now let's try to say this together. 你好,你好. 口语,口语. 了解,了解. 可以,可以. 语法,语法. 友好,友好. 辅导,辅导. 法语,法语. 雨伞,雨伞. 小姐,小姐. 讨好,讨好. 手表,手表. Very good. Let's learn a few words. In the second class, I have to use these words to give simple instructions. 上课,上课. Class begins. 上课了. 下课,下课. Class is over. 现在休息,现在休息. Take a break. 看黑板,看黑板. Look at the blackboard. 跟我读,跟我读. Read after me. Very good. Now, in the middle of this video, teacher introduced stroke order to you. What is stroke order? It's simply a couple of strokes that make up a character, and then we follow a specific order of writing to write down this character. Now, how do we know the different strokes? There are a few strokes in Chinese. Let's learn them together. 横,横. It means it's a straight line. It's just a straight line. And the direction is from left to right. 横. 一,一. 二,二. The second part. 竖,竖. It's a straight line from up to down. 竖,竖. For example, in the character 10, 10, 10. Or 工,工, work or labor. Then we also have 撇,撇. like in the character 人, 人, or 八, 八, 8, 点, 点. Very good. Adult. 不. How do we write it? Very good. This part here is the 点. 六, 六, 6. And then the last one, 那, 那, like in the character 大, 大, or 天, 天. Very good. Let us look at a few characters in today's lesson. Since we have decided to embark on this journey of learning Chinese, it is important we learn a few characters. And some of them are actually very simple. We use one straight line to represent number one. How about number two? Just add a second line under it. Two lines is number two. Let us practice together. From left to right. E. Add another below it. R. Add another one below it. San. Of course, there is also one we learned in today's lesson. Shi. Very good. And then ba and liu. Liu. 我们就先学到这里了，下课了。